Welcome to the Hospitality Podcast.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Come on, man.
I just need a...
This is the lamb.
Where's the lamb
That's the lamb.
sauce?
Presented by Arthur Gomez
God damn! I just spent $8,000 on some f***ing wine!
and Quentin Wind.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
So pour yourself a glass because we're diving into the world of restaurants, kitchen and bar. The Hospitality Podcast.
Hey, welcome guys.
Hey guys.
Welcome to Breaking the Cork. Today is the first episode of Table for Two
Yeah.
of the season 2. It's a lot of two.
But yeah, we're gonna be diving into some a cool subject actually today because we spoke about it just before we started, and we're gonna speak about reviews in general. You know,
Google review about
Yeah.
restaurants.
and we're gonna try and talk about influencers as well because it's kind of part of it.
Yeah.
Towards the end, have you ever had like reviews where they spoke about you and some of the
Like about me, like personally myself, no.
only
never.
good ones?
Good ones? Yeah, I had a few. But
Yeah.
same, not that much. I feel like these people who leave this very bad review
Yeah.
are like very like like hardcore. They not insult you, but almost.
Yeah.
They never tell you like in real life when it's happening during
Yeah.
the service that something's wrong. Sometimes they do. Sometimes like someone is complaining. But I feel like there's a lot of moments where people just leave bad review, but they don't say anything to the staff. They're having like their meal and
Yeah.
everything's going well, and then something happened, and they
Yeah.
don't say anything to like the waiters or the manager.
When the waiter goes, "How did it? Did everything go well?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, very nice," and all that.
Yeah.
And then and the back, bam.
Yeah, it's a bit like people sometimes when you're going to eat with someone, and you say, "Oh, like how's the food, guys?" And
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, it's delicious, it's really good." And then like a few minutes later, the guy's gonna say to his friend, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's not good."
Yeah,
At least you can say, "Oh, it's okay," or like it's fine.
Yeah.
Or something's missing.
Exactly. We'll just give a bit of a constructive feedback at least.
Constructive feedback. Yeah.
And it's just it's like when you go on Instagram and you see the comments and the hatred comments.
Yeah.
People hide behind screens, and they love that. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's for hospitality. I feel like it's quite unfair. Obviously, I don't defend on every cases because there are places where they do bad.
There's some really bad places.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair.
But for example, I've recently had one about so a customer came in. It was half an hour before we close the cafe. So obviously it was on a big day. It was on a Friday, one of our biggest days, and we pretty much obviously half an hour before closing. You expect
Almost
to
sold
be-
out.
Yeah, exactly. Nearly sold out. She came and then she just left. And she left a review literally about like 10-15 minutes after. And we knew it was that person.
A bad review.
It was a bad review. I think she's put 1 out of 5. And she said, don't go to this place. There's no vegan option. In 2024, you should be, it's just
you
like...
should have some vegan.
You should
option.
have something like that. And she didn't even bother to ask the staff members, or also she probably seen that we kind of sold out. But no, they rather, give you the kick in the face instead of asking, oh, do you have any vegan? Or just
But do you
ask.
have some?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We got plenty. Yeah, we got cakes and sandwiches, soups as well. We got plenty. It's just that she came half an hour before.
Yeah.
We had a big day. At least ask.
Yeah.
We might be able to do something. We got the whole kitchen behind us. But no, they just prefer to keep it to themselves.
Obviously, I'm not vegan and vegetarian, but I just feel like you don't need to. It's not because we're in 2024. Everybody should have like vegan option. It's great. I feel like it's great when businesses they have like this option.
Yeah,
Obviously, for people who are vegan or vegetarian,
of course. Yeah, I think
it's a great option.
Yeah.
And it's great. But like, if you're vegan and this business is not selling anything vegan, just don't go there. I mean, it's
Exactly.
London. There's like thousands
Yeah.
of restaurants and bakeries. So
Exactly. And it just depends on what's the concept of the place. I mean, for me, it's always like the person that goes to McDonald's and asks her for a burger without burger buns, without the bread, and just like, why do you go to McDonald's if you're going to a burger place?
yeah, the example is great. For example, vegan. I'm not sure about UK, but like for example in France, I think only Burger King have a vegan option.
Okay.
I'm not sure McDonald's got any vegan option.
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
Vegan, huh? Not vegetarian.
Yeah.
They might have like some vegetarian option or like plant-based
Yeah.
burgers. And it's not like you're not gonna attack McDonald's because they don't have any vegan
Yeah,
option.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
be like, well, they don't have any option for me. I'm just not gonna, spend my money
Yeah.
at McDonald's,
Yeah.
which is bad for McDonald's, but at the same time you can spend your money in other
Elsewhere,
brands.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is one. That's one thing. I mean, dietary. Obviously, it's always something quite personal.
Yeah.
The other day, we got kind of attacked by Google review saying. So it was a lady came in and she asked a couple questions. My staff member, she answered them. She got some food. It was like a ham and cheese croissant. She ate nearly all of it and then left. And she put a 1-star review and. She mentioned like, yeah, I spoke to the staff member. She was really rude. She wasn't. I was next to her. I was doing coffees while she was dealing with her. She was definitely not rude. It's just because we didn't have a certain product which we used to sell. And then the second problem that was she wanted to pay cash.
Okay.
Now she
You don't take cash.
We don't take
Yeah.
cash. Reason being is because we get broken into quite often because we used to take cash. So we don't take cash because of that. She got really kind of pissed off with that. Got a bit eggy with the staff and saying, "What about the people that don't, take or don't have any card or technology and all that?" My staff kindly said, "We do it for people like elderly people, but we try not to take any cash." She's like, "This is unacceptable." Blah blah blah. And then the review comes, and she goes. Yeah, do not go to this place. They don't take cash. They don't even advertise. They don't take cash. You can go to the door here. There's actually a big sign that we don't take cash. It's card
okay.
only.
Okay, fair.
And she's a regular.
Yeah.
A regular. She said she was a regular.
Used to.
Whatever, used to now. And then she said, yeah, there was too much bechamel in the ham and cheese croissant, so I didn't eat it. Well, she actually nearly ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
At the end, she's like, there's a tip machine to tip the staff. Why don't you, as a company, pay the staff correctly, the London living wage? So yeah, she just went about like things that she has no clue about.
Yeah,
Like my
exactly.
staff are, paid London living wage and higher, and we just give the option to people because we've got so many people wanting to
To
tip.
give some tips.
And she went on and on and on about it, 1-star review, and just because she was angry that we didn't take cash. And
But
she-
it's a bit the same problem actually. If it's advertised, there's no reason to complain. It's just these people don't take cash.
yeah,
Just don't go to this place, you know what I mean? And also in 2024, I don't know anybody who don't get any cards. You need to create cards, whatever. Now, maybe to pay your bills or to pay, there's a lot of things now you need the card to pay, and more people don't take any cash
Yeah.
anymore.
And the
Okay.
thing is, she started to say we were close to being racist because I can't remember exactly what she said, but we were really like, how could she say all of this? Like,
Yeah.
how could she put that kind of image on us, which is not great at all on Google, and it just affects businesses if you do that. I mean, it's just some people, they just love to complain.
Sometimes you have some good day and some bad day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moments where like this bad review in restaurants. I think it's Oli Eats, and we
Yeah.
had on the podcast, who was a guest on the podcast, who was a food influencer, and he said that sometimes he's doing like some partnership collaboration
Yeah.
with like restaurant and brand, and sometimes his experience is not what it was expected, so he's not really happy about the experience, and so he just don't post. That's it.
Yeah.
Because it was a bad day, or because it was not the
Exactly.
right moment. So things like this can happen. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
we're still human. So you can give like a poor service, or like it can happen. But the thing is like, like usually this thing you got like a reason behind it. Maybe she had like a bad day, and she was and the thing that you didn't take cash was
It's just a multitude of things that just,
escalated.
and then she just exploded.
Yeah.
But also, that person could have had a bad morning, woke up on the wrong foot, and wanted to be angry all day. I don't know.
Yeah.
It happens to all of us, but do not, make it affected to other people's life. Like it's just,
To be fair, I'm not against like bad review. I feel like if behind the review there's like a reason, like a fair reason to put this bad
Yeah.
review. For example, if it's like a bad day, okay, and you're giving like a poor service to your customers, and you're getting like a bad review, fair, it's also like part of the game. It's also, you're running a business, so you have the positive aspect and the negative aspect. So in that case, it's the very negative aspect, which is bad for business. I'm 100% agree. But unfortunately, like, I don't know, let's say you have 10,000 customers every year. Out of the 10,000, for sure, you're gonna have maybe 1 or 2 persons who's not gonna be like nice people, and they're gonna leave a bad review, which is bad. But there's also maybe some time where your staff, I'm not talking about your staff, like I mean in general, in shops or restaurant or hotel, just have a bad day. You know, like they break up with a girlfriend, a boyfriend, you know, like
personal
like,
life issues.
Exactly, and it's just like they're having a bad day, so they're giving like poor service, and it's fine, you know, it's not the end of the world, and even like a bad review is not the end of the world.
No, of course.
But obviously, if you get a lot of bad review, it can affect the business.
No, completely.
Sure. But also you got the good review, and it's great.
Yeah, it's great, but there's some which I don't really understand. I've had probably a couple. I mean, for me they're fun, but you get like a 4-star review, and the comments are excellent service, excellent food, great place. We had a lot of fun. I would highly recommend it. 4-star. And you're just like...
Because something is missing, I guess. It's probably the people were like very into details. And they're like, oh, it's not the 5. Because I feel like some people are like, oh, 5 stars review is like... It's a bit like the 5 stars hotel, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, it's the luxury of the patisserie.
But when they go, it's excellent, 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 and you're just like, bro, do you want a happy ending or something? Like, at least tell us why. Where's the 1-star missing? Did Mario take it, or I don't know? It's like, just give us the reason, and that's what's quite irritating, because you always, as a business owner, you always want to improve. Well, feedback is always welcomed and embraced in the most positive way. But if you don't have constructive feedback, it's hard to understand these kind of ratings where it's just those are the most irritating ones. But I mean, they're great because the comments are amazing. 4-star is really good. But it's just like, what do I need to do to give to get the 5-star? What was missing?
But that's the thing, do you respond to people who leave? Because I know there's a few people who never respond. Which I don't think is great, because people, they take some time to leave a review, if it's either like a bad one or a good one, but they just take some time to leave a review. So at least I feel like sometimes the business owner, except for like big brands, if we're talking about, but let's just say like Starbucks or any brands like Pret, we're not gonna respond to all the Pret review.
They probably will, because
maybe
they have
people pay for that. Maybe.
And for myself, it is hard to respond to all of them because we get quite a few. I tend to reply to the bad ones, saying, sorry that you had a bad experience. We understand what happened and we'll improve it. Or please come back.
So you told them to come back?
We asked them to come back just in case. Because we'll try and improve it.
Do they come back?
I don't know. That we don't. We got no follow up from that. So. It's a bit of a blindside on that one, but I do reply to the ones that are just stupid, like the 2 I explained. I try not to be too sarcastic. I'd have to reply because I don't know, for you, when you check on Google review on restaurants that you want to eat, obviously you check reviews and you look at what first of all you look at what the customers has rated and put as a comment, and then sometimes the bad ones I always read the reply of the restaurant just to know why there's been bad service. Why? Because I'm in the industry. If it's because of service and the restaurant say we had one person sick, it was very busy, then that for me it's fine. We've all been in that situation, and I won't penalise them for that. So I always look at bad reviews and see why there's bad reviews.
You always look at the review. I mean, I'm looking at the review as well if I'm going out in a restaurant. Usually I'm just looking at the
general
review is like 4.3 or 4.5, but I'm never looking to the proper comments. Because as you said, like maybe they're gonna have like a 4.2, so you're missing the 0.8, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's, as you said, maybe because people sometimes have a bad day and it was maybe one person. Sometimes you hire one person for like a couple of months, and this person is just not the right person for your business. Doesn't have the good attitude or like the good experience or knowledge, and so like you get like 10 people leaving a bad review for that. So you can't really like blame the business for that, because obviously they made like a mistakes hiring this person. But at the same time, this person is not working in the business anymore.
If you had to give an average of the Google review stars when you check to go to a restaurant,
Yeah.
what is the rate where you say, yeah, that's
go.
like,
Yeah.
I'll go?
I feel like I'm pretty easy, so I would say maybe 4.
4.
4 I'm going. Less than 4 I'm not going. If it's 3.9 or 3.8 I'm not going
Okay.
because there's something wrong. But 4 and above, yeah,
Okay.
I'll go. Like 4.5 out of 5, yeah, I'll go.
For me, 4.4, I'll start looking at reviews.
Okay.
But 4.5 above, just go straight away.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Usually 4.5, 4.6 to 5. Usually it's 5.
Yeah.
It's a really nice place.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no place 5.
Yeah.
I think I saw one place last time. I don't remember the name though. But it was like a restaurant, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Also, it was a new opening. So
there
it was
you
like
go.
maybe like 50, 60 review.
Yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of makes sense.
Yeah.
But also, like when you get like, I don't know, like, I feel like after the 100 or 200 review,
Yeah.
it's kind of tricky to get like a 5.5.
course.
You know what I mean? There's always something happening. And also, there's also like someone, you know, who's going to find something wrong. Even
course.
like, even if you look at the 3-star Michelin restaurants, let's get, you know what? Let's check. For example, we're gonna check in live.
Whilst he's checking,
I mean, in live.
comment down below to give us your average.
Oh yeah, give us your review on
yeah.
the podcast.
Give us the review on the podcast, but also little comments would be appreciated. What would be your rating where you would go without having to check? It'd be quite interesting to see, you guys, your views.
Yeah. Well, you see the Ritz, who is one of the best restaurants in London, very fine dining. The Ritz got, you wanna guess?
The Ritz, allez, 4.4.
4.4? No, a bit more.
Oh yeah, 4.5?
4.6.
4.6, okay.
With 763 reviews.
Oh, only?
Yeah.
I would have thought much more.
For the restaurant. Huh?
Yeah, but still, I would have thought much more.
For the hotel, it's 4.6 and it's 6,800 review. So there's probably people leaving review for the restaurant
Yeah, of
on
course.
the account of the hotel, you know. But like for example, like 6,800 review and 4.6 stars,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah. No, of course.
So I mean, out of like almost 7,000 people, the average is 4.6. It's amazing. But see, even for the Ritz, when the service it's like top notch,
Yeah.
there's still like some
Stuff, of
people who
course.
are like, maybe they put like 1 stars or 3 stars, and you're like, well,
No, of
at
course.
some point, you know, what do you expect
Yeah,
from these people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I
Be
guess
service
maybe
in your bed.
I guess for like these places, sometimes it's not really the service or the food or the drinks. Sometimes it's the price. I feel like people sometimes they value also for the price, which is like everything was great, but it was too expensive.
No, of course. No,
which
definitely.
kind of makes sense because it's also like part of the experience. You know, obviously, like if you're going to a really nice restaurant and it's not, for example, a Michelin restaurant or anything, which most of the time we're not going to Michelin restaurant, and you're paying like the price of like a Michelin, for example. Obviously, your experience gonna be a bit, you know, you're gonna be a bit
No, of course.
disappointed about the experience.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just for me in general, if we have to like summarize this whole, review, I feel like today there's a lot of people, they hide behind their screens and not putting constructive reviews, which doesn't help businesses.
No.
Obviously, don't.
Be rude to like people in hospitality, which is the worst thing actually, and that's why it's so difficult to find good people. also.
Yeah. It's, that's
And
the
I
thing,
feel like that's the tricky thing about the review is like everybody got different
taste.
expectation, tastes about what is a good night out, what is a good restaurant. Everybody got a different one.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just want to express them on internet, which is now dangerous.
Yeah.
But fair, you know. But I feel like Google review is still fine. The worst now is like social media, especially like TikTok and Instagram with the reels. When you got like plenty of like influencers, if I may say, sometimes we don't really know what is an influencer now, but you know, people with a lot of followers posting. Most of the time, it's good review, to be fair. But also sometimes the people like, you know, just bashing people on Instagram with bad reels. With like saying that the food was horrible, the stuff was horrible. And this is the worst. Because sometimes you can see these reels getting like 1,000, 100,000 of view.
Yeah.
And this is actually
and
extremely
people
bad
get
for business.
influenced so badly, like it's worse and worse actually. And like you said, like, you know, bad reviews is one thing, but don't like put it out there, especially if you got a following. Like it's and not only that, like like a lot of followers, especially in food, that, have a channel on food or just a page or whatever. Most of them, they don't have an upbringing in the hospitality world. They haven't been working in hospitality or have any background on food. So they just because they take good photos and put a good caption. And
but do you think you need a background in this area to judge like food or drinks?
I think for me,
because everybody got tastes.
Yeah,
we
everyone's
all
got
know
taste,
what's good,
but not when you do a bad review without saying why there's why did the service didn't go right, or for me it's more the ones that now have a following and any restaurant can go to them as like, oh, can you post about our food? We'll give you the food for free with a +1, and you get cocktails, and you just have to do like a video reel or a post for us. And that, I know many places where the food isn't good, and they get influencers or they pay influencers to do a post to say, the food was amazing, blah blah blah, when actually it isn't. So there is that kind of reality where you have the real people, like Ollie Eats will
big up Ollie.
Voilà, big up Ollie, but won't post if the food isn't good, and he won't do a promo on a product which he doesn't like, and he stated that quite clearly. But there's some, they do it for the money or the freebies, and that's how can you're not going to eat, you're not going to lick your phone to know the taste of the food, but the food can look pretty and not taste good. Or vice versa.
It looks pretty on pictures because it's easy to make it look pretty.
Of course,
everything can look pretty.
Yeah.
But in terms of taste, it's another story.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why, guys, be very careful when you look. I'm not saying every restaurant review on Instagram are false. No, not at all. But I'm just saying when you see people doing a lot of review, and you can feel, sometimes to be fair, you can feel when it's been paid, when it's ads and when it's not.
Course.
You can see it directly, the way they're talking about the place, and sometimes it looks like, it's Disneyland, which is just a restaurant, But obviously a restaurant, every time you go into a restaurant, it should be an experience to discover new food, a new chef, some new wine, etc. But I just feel sometimes they're doing just too much. And the result, if you're going there and you try, you get so disappointed about the venue because it's so far from reality.
Yeah.
So just be careful, and just people who do the rating, also sometimes it doesn't worth getting £20 worth of food for free. Just
no, exactly. I mean,
a review on Instagram.
That's it. That's why I don't really follow any. Well, I'm really I really handpick who I follow on Instagram. And
do you have any recommendation of food influencer?
I've got plenty, but I just can't remember all their names, to be honest. French one that I watch a lot, and it's something. I'm so bad with names; it's unbelievable. Something dans l'assiette. It's a lady who's 45, 50 years old, and she gets filmed by this guy that you never see, but he comments times to times, and she really goes into depth about how the restaurant was, how it works, how it's been open, what's the speciality, and each dish, she has a story about it. She goes to meet, the chefs, and it's just amazing how she does it.
There's a guy, Alexander the Guest.
Okay.
Is the name of the guy, but his name is Dor Varga. And actually he's the co-owner of a Michelin star restaurant.
Okay.
So he's got the expertise of talking. Actually, he's on YouTube, and he's doing review of restaurants.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's got any background, but to be fair, the way he's talking about his experience in this restaurant and hotels.
Anyways, guys, I think we've gone past the 20 minutes.
I think we've gone on this subject of the reviews in hospitality.
Don't hesitate to leave us a comment about what we just discussed. Other than that, please obviously give us a little review on the podcast.
Spotify and Apple Podcast.
And follow on Instagram, it always helps.
So every Tuesday at 6 p.m, you got a new episode every week. So the next episode will be with we'll try the max weekend. So far we are good.
Yeah.
We are okay. We're not too bad. So next episode will be with Head of Wine, You will know obviously next week of
Yeah.
which restaurant, but we'll be talking about vino.
Vino.
Yeah,
Love the vino. Hopefully we'll be drinking some as well because
of course.
I feel like
Of
quite
course.
dry right now.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Have a
we'll
good
see you next
evening.
week.
Yeah, take care.
Bye bye. Hey, welcome, guys.
Hey guys.
Welcome to Breaking the Cork. Today is the first episode of Table for Two
Yeah.
of the season 2.
Finally.
It's a lot of two.
We're going to be diving into a cool subject actually today because we spoke about it just before we started, and we're
Yeah.
going to speak about reviews
About restaurant.
and we're going to try and talk about influencers as well because it's kind of part of it
Yeah.
towards the end.